Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroladaOfficial, and today my guest is Krasi, who will do the 12 signs predictions for March 23 with Sidereal Astrology and ancient Babylonian methods. Hello, Krasi.
Hello, Ada. Hello, everyone. Yes, we will be speaking about month March. Of course, we'll be looking from sidereal and also tropical perspective for the people who follow the tropical astrology. First of all, to tell you that just 2 days ago, on 21st of February, with the appearance of the first lunar crescent in Pisces, we had actually the lunar sidereal Sumerian actually New Year. The way the Sumerians would calculate the beginning of the new year. On that day, 21st of February, the priest, the astrologer would look at the sky and would make the prediction for the whole year ahead. So this is
So they started the year with the first crescent moon in Sidereal Pisces.
Yes, before the sun enters Pisces, which is the where we have the point of the vernal equinox for the northern hemisphere. So yes, this is the Sumerian tradition. Then you have the Babylonian tradition, which is a little bit different, which will be, then the first appearance would be 22nd of February, I think it would be. Both dates are important. I personally stick to the most ancient tradition. This is my personal choice. And then, but of course, the 22nd of March is also a very important day. We could use this day also as the beginning of lunar new year and watch the sky. Yes, what?
On the spring equinox, exactly. This is
on
how
the spring equinox.
In the modern times for the beginning of the year. And by the way, just wanted to say that because it's the beginning, it's starting now, February, March, is the beginning of the true new year. So that's when true new beginnings can be set and intentions, which are way more powerful than on the 31st of December, 1st of January. It's kind of like, this is a date invented by us. It has nothing to do with the actual astrological events and the path of the earth and the sun. So Krasi is offering a really generous discount on her 12 months ahead horoscope reading, which she does personally with you over Skype if you're interested to see the predictions for you for the next 12 months, because this is the true beginning of the new year. I'm going to put a link below for personal reading with Krasi. She's offering it for $140 only, down from $200 usually her 12-month horoscope. All right, carry on.
Yes, thank you, Wada. Thank you. Yes. So what is happening in March? Let's see. First of all, we have this beautiful conjunction, Jupiter-Venus conjunction in Sidereal Pisces. Actually, you can see it now. Shortly after the sun is setting, you can see the beautiful conjunction between Jupiter and Venus, and you will see Venus a little bit brighter than Jupiter. This is amazing beauty. Beauty on the sky, also beauty in our lives. What will this bring us in March? Both planets, they do not meet every year in Pisces. This is just unique conjunction. And actually, how we benefit from this? I think people who are doing beauty business, people who are talented, people who are gifted, industries like maybe clothes, textiles, beauty, all this will benefit. Also, this would be very appropriate for such new beginnings for two reasons. One is that this is lunar new year. So the first 15 days, starting from 23rd, 4th, and on February, with some exceptions, of course, but just roughly, briefly, will be very benevolent for such new beginnings, such which will be very philosophical because of the nature of Pisces, very spiritual, very related to intuitive teachings and spiritual teachings, also beauty. Beauty in all senses of beauty. Beauty like beautifying your life, beauty like art, beauty like music, beauty like everything, just name it. So in this sense, this month will be really very beautiful. And you will feel it. It is also spiritually very benevolent for us because, yeah, we went through a lot with this hard presence of Saturn in Capricorn. We're not the same after end of 2020. None of us is the same. And this is just a very, well, how to say, it is a relief, so to say. And it's an opportunity for us to learn, to, you see, because Pisces is also ruling the era, since we are still in the era of Pisces astronomically, and it is related to, associated with a lot of wisdom and knowledge and healing also gorgeous if you're doing healing, if you're starting such business. This is also very good. And these particular positions of Jupiter and Venus are not afflicted. This is also very important. Therefore, could be benevolent for some new beginnings. So this is one thing. Then we have another important event taking place in March. On the 16th, finally, Mars is leaving Sidereal Taurus to enter Gemini. Actually, this is maybe good. Well, Mars in Sidereal Taurus for the last 8 months was not really very malefic, because you can imagine, even though classically we can say that Mars is fallen in Taurus, actually only Venus is capable of controlling Mars through love, through beauty. So I think this was a little bit, in good sense, controlled Mars energy. Once he enters Gemini in the middle of March, Mars will not be fallen, but will be what is called classically peregrine, meaning that he will not have specific dignities, but still will have Mars in Gemini, where I think we will notice already how this scenario of the war will change a little bit. This is not in a very good direction, I think, because of the nature of Gemini. But this will be also very important for people who have Sidereal Ascendant Gemini or Tropical Cancer Ascendants. Anyhow, I'll be mentioning this through the process when I will be looking at all of the 12 ascendants. So basically, these are the most important celestial events of the month of March. So let's start with Sidereal Aries, or if you do not know your ascendant, this will be Tropical Taurus or Moon in Taurus. So what is happening for you actually? The beautiful conjunction between Venus and Jupiter and the first appearance of the moon for March is happening for you in your 12th house, which actually is not bad at all, because this can give you brilliant opportunities for working on your intuition and also for healing, both ways, healing others, healing yourself. This can be actually very good. Also, you have your ascendant ruler until mid-March. Mars is on your 2nd house, which shows eventually that you may be a little bit careful. This is until mid-March. You may need to be a little bit careful with finances. Also, everything about money, how you invest, how you spend, how you plan money, everything about money. Also, how you communicate with family roots. Would be that Mars, if you're not very diplomatic, careful, and intuitive, Mars can be a little bit, well, could be that bring these harmonies in these areas of your life. Other than that, the good things are that you, first half of March, Mars can make you driven to beauty, to food maybe also, you know. And after 15th, 16th of March, when your ascendant ruler Mars enters Gemini, you may need to be a little bit, this will be valid for March, of course, you may need to be a little bit careful how you communicate with others. You may need to watch out that Mars doesn't bring this harmony in your communication with brothers and sisters. So watch out a little bit how you negotiate, how you travel. Be a little bit careful in these areas. But for the rest, I think that you are now in benevolent position, because Saturn, who was for the last 3 years in Capricorn, now is on your 11th house. And if you have well-placed Saturn in your horoscope, you can have even great chances for making money, for good connections. So March will be a very interesting month for you. Now we're looking at people who have Sidereal Ascendant Taurus, or Moon in Taurus, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Gemini. Now, until mid-March, Mars is on your ascendant. Still nothing new here. This is happening already for 8 months for you. Still, be a little bit careful and diplomatic and loving with your partner. Be a little bit careful how you drive, how you travel, how you be careful that you don't get into disputes or conflicting situation. I'm saying this because now Mars being on your ascendant is squared by Saturn on your 10th house. This is also to say that you may need to watch out how you communicate with superiors in your career place. On the other hand, you have beautiful Venus, Jupiter conjunction in your 11th house. Beautiful for your communication with children. Good for your gains. Good for your connection. So in this sense, you're good. It is also protection, actually, because this is particular gorgeous conjunction between Jupiter and Venus is creating harmonious aspect to your ascendant. However, watch out a little bit, be more diplomatic, at least until mid-March. After mid-March, Mars is entering Gemini, and this is more benevolent for you. But still, then you may need to watch out for how you invest, how you approach money in general. You need to watch out a little bit how you communicate with family members. But in general, I think it will be relief for you after mid-March, once Mars moves into your 2nd house. This will be relief also for your romantic life. There will be less tension. This will be relief. Now we're looking at people who have Sidereal Ascendant Gemini, or Moon in Gemini, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this is Cancer. Yeah. Now, for you, this beautiful conjunction between Venus and Jupiter, and the first appearance of the Moon for March is happening right on your 10th house. Your career, your highest goals, aims. Actually, this is very good. Until mid-March, this is the situation. Also, the month in general will be good for studies, for learning. There will be peace and good atmosphere in your career place. Financially also, this shouldn't be bad. After mid-March, Mars comes right on your ascendant. Then you have to be a little bit more careful. This energy can be too intense. Watch out a little bit how you, for your communication and your relationships in general, but also your romantic relationship. Be also a little bit more careful how you communicate with others, how you travel. Make sure that, yes, you will be protected by the beautiful planets on your 10th house, but still, Mars on your ascendant can make you a little bit impulsive, a little bit not careful enough. So therefore, be a little bit more careful. Your ascendant ruler Mercury in March will be on your 9th house in Aquarius. Actually, this is fine. Mercury there can be very positive for studies, even for travel. But again, watch out so that you're not a bit too careless or impulsive. And now let's see people who have Sidereal Ascendant Cancer or Moon in Cancer. Or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Leo. Now for you, the first appearance of the Moon for March took place on your 9th house together with Jupiter and Venus. This should be a good month for you. The moon is carrying, the moon who rules you, your ascendant, is carrying the positive, elegant, gorgeous energy of Jupiter and Venus. And they form trine to your ascendant. I believe that you're feeling well. This month will be very good for you for studies, even for travel, even for some new beginnings related to knowledge, philosophies, many things. Also, yeah, it's just a good month in general. Then you have, because, Mars on 16th of March is entering your 12th house, Gemini. There he will be peregrine. You may need to be a bit more careful and responsible for your health, for that you don't participate unwillingly in disputes or conflicting situations at work or with hidden enemies. Just be a little bit more diplomatic and careful. Basically, these are the main things for people who have Sidereal Ascendant Cancer. Now we're looking at Sidereal Ascendant Leo or Moon in Leo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Virgo. Now for you, still until mid March, Mars is on your midheaven and is squared by both the Sun and Saturn, who is invisible. Maybe already for almost 8 months, you feel a bit of disharmony with this, especially when it comes to communication, career, a place. Well, there will be relief for you because on 16th of March, Mars moves into Sidereal Gemini. And this is much better because then there will be harmonious aspect between the two malefics, Saturn and Mars. This can make you even more strategic, especially when it comes to your social circle, money making, and negotiation. So this will be much better for you and really relief because you know how long Mars is in Taurus, almost 8 months. For you, the first appearance of the moon is taking place in your 8th house with Jupiter, with Venus. This is good for money, especially money that you can get through unexpected sources, or money of partner, or money via partnership in general. This can be very benevolent to give you positive energy, to help you fight fears, for example. This can be very good for your research and knowledge. So this is, in this sense, this is quite positive conjunction also for you, and you experience this also. Actually, even when Mars moves into Gemini, Jupiter and Venus will still make her aspect square, but still they will be watching towards him, and this will also be helpful. And financially, it will be also very helpful. Now let's see people who have Sidereal Ascendant Virgo or Moon in Virgo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Libra. For you, Jupiter and Venus will be on your 7th, actually on your 7th house, and the first appearance of the moon also took place there. This is very good. This may bring peace in your relationship. This can bring peace in your in general. It's a good energy which you feel because the 7th house is aspecting your ascendant. So in general, this is a positive, good, peace making energy. The moon in the 7th house of yours shows the importance of your romantic life, relationship, agreements in general. Mars until mid-March is on your 9th house. Probably this makes you very driven to study, travel, to communicate with people abroad. This is very good, but also be a little bit cautious how you travel, how you negotiate, which studies and philosophies you choose. Also because Mars, this position of Mars is not his best position, of course, we know that. After 16th of March, Mars is moving on your 10th house. And then you may need to be a little bit careful so that he doesn't bring disharmony in your career place. So you have to be careful how you communicate with superiors. Be careful that you're not very impulsive, especially when it comes to decisions, communication, negotiations. He will be square in your ascendant and the 7th house. So watch out a little bit. Be careful how you, just for everything, that you don't get into risky situation. Just make sure that you're not very impulsive, that you're planning your things well, that you're careful. Now we're looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Libra or moon in Libra, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this is Scorpio. Now, Venus, your ascendant ruler, is brilliantly placed in Pisces, which is your 6th house, together with Jupiter. This can be very helpful when it comes to health. This can be very helpful to bring peace in your routine environment. Let's say you had conflict or dispute with somebody, with people. This can also restore the peace, can be very good. Of course, the first appearance of the moon on the 6th house is showing attention on exactly this, your job, your routine, also your health in a good sense. Then Mars until mid-March still for you will be on your 8th house. Well, actually, you're familiar with this energy. This is the case for almost 8 months. Shows that you may need to watch out a little bit when it comes to financial decisions, communication with family members, let's say. After 16th of March, Mars is entering your 9th house. This is not bad, because from there he can make you very driven to travel, to study, to you may though be a little bit cautious how you this is after mid-March, of course, cautious how you travel, which philosophies and studies and schools you choose, let's say, how you communicate, how you negotiate. But knowing this, you'll be a bit more careful in general, because Mars is capable also of giving disharmonies, because, you know, in Gemini, he's peregrine. He doesn't have any specific dignities. Well, in some degrees, yes, but not entirely. But in general, it is good that your ascendant ruler is placed brilliantly in Pisces, and I'm sure this will bring you healing and some good energies. Now we're looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Scorpio, or moon in Scorpio, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Sagittarius. Now for you, the beautiful conjunction of the planets Jupiter, Venus took place on your 5th house. Good for your gains, communication, or in general for your children. Good for talented work, for creative studies, for pleasure, for joy, restoring peace in your love life. This is just very good. Good for finances. The appearance of the moon there is also showing the importance of creativity, creative knowledge, talented work. Could be that you have the muse now to create something beautiful. Mars, your ascendant ruler, is still fallen against your ascendant. He is in Taurus for another, well, until mid-March. You already know how this feels, because Mars is there for a very long time, almost 8 months already. So you know how it feels, and most probably this brought you some disharmony in your romantic life, also in your agreements, maybe negotiations, also financial decisions. Now you'll be relieved, because mid-March, Mars is moving on your into your 8th house. Well, relieved in the sense that he will not bother so much your relationship. But when he moves on your 8th house, he can make you very driven to research the good. He can make you a little bit afraid, maybe, because the 8th house is related to fears. So you may need to make sure that you remain positive. Maybe you can welcome the sun. Also, be a little bit careful how you make financial decisions, because he can make you very driven to some. 8th house is also related to finances, but finances of a partner or finances which we generate via partnership, let's say, or via unexpected ways. Therefore, make sure that you are very careful on how you make financial decisions in general. But at least once he moves away from your 7th house, you have relief in your romantic life. And you have the blessing of Jupiter and Venus on your 5th house, which is really the house of the good fortune. So I'm sure that they will bring you luck. And now we're looking at people who have Sidereal Ascendant Sagittarius or Moon in Sagittarius, or if you're looking from the perspective of the modern tropical astrology, this is Capricorn. Now, Jupiter is your ascendant ruler. Already from last April until mid-April, he will still be in Pisces, powerful. Now he is with Venus, and this is a beautiful conjunction on your 4th house. Blessing your home, blessing parents, giving you comfort, stability, joy at home. So this is very good, because the 4th house is aspecting the ascendant and makes aspects to many houses in your horoscope. So watching towards many directions to give you, well, good things, stability, positivity, even good health. Now, Mars is still in Taurus until mid-March, and you still need to be a little bit more careful till mid-March, responsible for your health. Make sure that you do not participate in conflicting situations, especially in your routine environment. But Jupiter and Venus are watching and helping, but still watch out a little bit, because there is still even white, but there is an aspect between Mars and Saturn. But mid-March, Mars is entering your 7th house, Gemini, and you may then need to be a little bit more harmonious, balanced, patient, loving with your partner. Also careful with partnerships in general. Be a little bit careful with diplomatic, how you negotiate, how you communicate with people, how you sign agreements, let's say. Just make sure that you check everything, that you're not impulsive, that you're diplomatic. But in general, the beautiful position of Jupiter and Venus on your 4th house will be very helpful. However, these are the points of attention which I just gave you. And now we're looking at people who have Sidereal Ascendant Capricorn or Moon in Capricorn, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this is Aquarius. For you, your ascendant ruler is on the 2nd house of yours. Saturn still invisible. In April he becomes visible. But he will be, of course, working on changing for the next 3 years your finances. There he will be influencing a lot. Of course, career finances, your personal perception on finances and all this. But the placement of Jupiter and Venus for you is very beautiful, and also the appearance of the Moon on your 3rd house supports study, communication with brothers and sisters, can be very helpful to restore peace and balance in the relationships between brothers and sisters. With your brothers and sisters, let's say, can be very good to support study, travel, negotiation, communication, teaching, all this, Jupiter, Venus, and the appearance of the Moon. Mars for you until mid-March is in your 5th house. Actually, this is not a bad placement. Of course, shows that you may need to be a little bit attentive, careful with children, but he can also make you very driven to creativity, beauty, art. Yes, also romance and sex, but in general, Mars in the 5th can make you very driven to creative knowledge. After 16th of March, Mars enters your 6th house, and there you may need to watch out a little bit in your routine everyday environment, how you communicate with people, that there are no disputes created. A little bit responsible for your health you also may need to be once he enters Gemini in the next after 16th of March. And now we're looking at Aquarius, sidereal or moon in Aquarius, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Pisces. Now for you, Saturn is invisible on your ascendant. He remains invisible also in March. When he's invisible, very powerful in Aquarius, obviously. When he's invisible, now he's like removing the old, removing out maybe status quo habits to bring the new later on in April. But he started very important personal changes for you. How they influence your life, your horoscope, depend on exactly on your depend exactly on how Saturn is positioned in your natal horoscope, but in general, he is important, and during the next 3 years, you'll be going through important personal changes. Jupiter and Venus for you and the Moon appear on your 2nd house. Of course, this is benevolent for your finances, quite lucky for your business, work, finances, peace restoring with family roots, family members. So this is quite good. Mars until 15th of March is on your 4th house. And there is a square between Saturn, who rules your ascendant, and Mars. This is not very benevolent. There will be relief for you once Mars enters Gemini, because then this tension, because of the square, this harmonious aspect between Mars and Saturn will be over. And then Mars enters your, after mid-March, Mars enters your 5th house. He can make you very driven to creative study, knowledge, art, but you may also need to be a little bit attentive with children, love life, to be that you're more diplomatic and careful. But in general, after 15th of March, you may feel relieved because you'll be free from this tension, heavy aspect between Saturn and Mars. And now we're looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Pisces or moon in Pisces, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this is Aries. Yes, you have the luck to have Jupiter and Venus conjoined right on your ascendant. Of course, you feel this for sure. This beautiful energy of this conjunction, which is not happening just every day. And it is good in any sense, good for your well-being, good for your how you feel, for your health, for your relationship also, if you want. And then until mid-March, Mars is on your 3rd house. Well, you know already how this feels, actually. You may need to be a little bit careful still how you travel, how you communicate with brothers and sisters also. But mid-March, Mars moves in Gemini, which is your 4th house. Then you need to be a little bit careful how you communicate with superiors, with people at home, with parents. Because if you're not really balanced and careful, Mars is capable of bringing disharmony in your home. But once you know, of course, once you know to be diplomatic, to be patient, to be intuitive, all this will be fine. But keep in mind, on your 4th house, he can influence your career place, and there you may need to be a little bit more diplomatic. But in general, with Venus and Jupiter on your ascendant, I think you're very, very lucky. So this is how we finish, Wada.
Thank you so much, Krasi. Short, concise, and on point. Again, thank you for joining me. And thank you,
Thank you,
everyone,
everyone.
with us in the live chat or watching us. Again, if you'd like to contact Krasi, I'll put a link below this video, and you can get to the discounted offer that Krasi is doing for the next 12 months. Thank you so much, and have a great March, everyone.
Thank you.